Stuck for ideas for the perfect gift? Why not get them a gift card? You can buy Sewing Street and Yarn Lane gift cards loaded up with anything from £10 to £500. Shop our gift cards online at www.sewingstreet.com or www.yarnlane.com, or purchase them via our UK call centre on 0800 001 44 33. Follow Sewing Street and Yarn Lane on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with what's coming up on the show, as well as being the first to know about our amazing offers. Get involved with our competitions that are exclusive to social media. And pick up some top tips from us too.
We know that shopping online can be a confusing and sometimes daunting task, and sometimes all you want to do is talk to a human being. Well, our family-run customer service team are on call 24/7. They're full of friendly, warm-hearted individuals, all trained to make your shopping experience as easy and as enjoyable as possible. And not only will they take your order, they will also help and guide you on your shopping journey, so you never miss out.
In need of a crafting fix? There are so many ways you can watch Sewing Street and Yarn Lane. Sewing Street is live from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day on Freeview 72 and Sky 670. Alternatively, if you want to watch us on a tablet or on the move, you can tune in on our YouTube channel, the Sewing Street app, or the websites at www.sewingstreet.com and www.yarnlane.com. You can watch past shows on Sky 670 from 1 p.m. every day, as well as our YouTube channel, the app, and our website. Yarn Lane is on from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Visit our programme guide to find out when and what's on, so you never have to spend a minute without us. Stuck for ideas for the perfect gift? Why not get them a gift card? You can buy Sewing Street and Yarn Lane gift cards loaded up with anything from £10 to £500. Shop our gift cards online at www.sewingstreet.com or www.yarnlane.com, or purchase them via our UK call centre on 0800 001 44 33. So oh no, I was waiting for my screen to shake. This is why we've got to get it fixed. Hello, welcome to Yarn Lane. Adam was chatting. I was just about to say, oh, stop chatting, Adam. Waiting for the picture to come up, and of course my screen's broken. Hello, welcome to Yarn Lane. That's why we've got to change it or move the tellies round. I'll get angry otherwise. Welcome to Yarn Lane. We are the only channel totally dedicated to everything to do with yarn, whether it be knitting or crochet or aragamumu or macrame or anything. Today, we are doing knitting with Adam. Adam is here today, everybody. Before we get on with any knitting or any shows, I'm just going to show you the website because I'm doing it a bit differently today. Have a look at the website first. Right, so here we go. Click on Watch Live, so it's yarnlane.com. Then you need to click on the live show. Every single thing we've got for the next hour is on pre-order. Now, there are things that I'm not going to even show you on the show today there, but there's yarns, there's oh, it's so beautiful. Everything today is so gorgeous, I can't tell you. A real range of goodies in there. Right, so normally what I would do, as we show you the projects, they will go into a different column, which will be the show deals column, right? That there is all on pre-order. So normally I would show you everything we've got for the hour, and then we would start knitting. We're doing it a little bit differently today because they all come from different books and different yarns and different suppliers. So basically, I'm going to start with these three projects. Adam will do a knitting and show you some knitting. Then while he's doing that, I'll get the next projects out, show you those, and then Adam will do some knitting. We've got 4 different sections to get through. So there's an awful lot to get through today. So what we're going to start with is the book, first of all. Now, obviously, I haven't got patterns with kits. Basically, within here, you buy the book, which is $9.95, with all the patterns in it. And then we have kitted up some of the patterns within this book. So it's called Chunky Roving Retreat Flourish. 5 hand knit designs by Chloe Elizabeth Birch in this book. Right. Oh, Elliot knows her apparently. Okay, so these are the patterns within here. They are Shiloh, the bubble stitch jumper and cardigan. We're not covering that one today, but that one's a pattern within there. We've got Frida, which we are covering today. We've got Grace, which we're not doing today. I love that one, Grace with the raglan sleeve. We've got Bodhi, that's lovely. Size that cable knit down the front there. We've got Uma, which we are doing. I think that's the 5 projects, isn't it? So all of those are in the book here. Everything, all the measurements, what you need yarn-wise, the needle size and everything like that. Very, very thorough. Now, a lot of people always ask for our books to be ring binders so they can read them easily, fold them over if they need to. They can have the pages open and not worry about the book flicking back. Look at all the photographs. We're still on the same one, look. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant patterns. Then we move on to Frida. You see, they're stunning. Now, we're doing Frida today. I don't know if we're doing I think that our bundle will do either or, but we'll check when we get to it. We've got that colourway, obviously, to show you later on. So, again, everything you need in there. Right, and Rebecca Reed has kitted them with the yarn that it suggests in the book, right? So, let me just go back. So, we've done that colourway, right? We've not done the other, that one came into, we've not done that colourway, we've just done that. So then when we move to the Uma, hang on, I'll get to it. Hang on, Bodhi, look at that, it's incredible, isn't it? That, we're not covering that one. Right, here we go, Uma. We've not done this one. We've done the solid colour. Now, they've only suggested green in the book. Hang on, let's get to it. Oh. There you go. We're not doing the scarf. We're showing the ribbing, are we, on the hat?
On the mitten, yeah.
On the mitten, sorry, on the mitten. But I'm presuming that looks like the same there. But anyway, the pattern is for all 3 of those. We've got it in the green, which they've suggested there, coming up in a minute. But we also have it in a grey, which they haven't suggested in that one yet. So Rebecca Reed's added a colour. So you do need to buy the book of patterns. If you want to make those, £9.95. Does not come in the kit. You need to buy that and then buy the yarn to go with. So let's do this one here. So this is this one. The Uma. Now look, one colour set there, 1 dot, which means it's very simple. The 3 colour one is slightly more difficult. We haven't got the 3 colour one in. We've got the green one. Wait a minute. There you go. So what you need 5 balls of chunky roving. See, it's the same as the book. You see, Retreat, chunky roving, reared, sheared and spun in Britain. Blue-faced Kerry Hill. These are, not Leicestershire. These are blue-faced Kerry Hills. It's 100% wool. Beautiful, isn't it? It's called Purpose. That colour's called Purpose. No, I love that colour. Love, love, love that deep bottle greeny olivey colour. $29.99. So you're going to be able to knit the scarf, the hat, and the mittens out of that. Whole set for $29.99 plus your book. Obviously, you have to buy your book as well. Okay, so that's the green version, which you're going to see Adam knitting in a second. We also have it in this lovely grey colour. Obviously, you need to buy the book separately. Let me take that out from underneath there. So the grey is called Soul. It's a lovely colour. I'd call that Battleship Grey or Tahitian Pearl Grey. Very nice, isn't it? Again, 100% wool. $29.99 for that. Oh, I've lost my tally again, so don't worry. Right, the other project from the book is this one here, right? Now, I just need to double check something. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the caramel. Well, I won't say caramel because that won't be the right word. So I've got 3 of the pure. I've got 2 of the peace. Oh. and 5 of the tranquil. Oh, I say, that's like tranquil, peace and pure. How lovely is that? So now it says here for the jumper, you need 3 tranquils, 2 pieces and 3 pure. So you've got extra, hang on, 3 tranquil. 1, 2, 3 tranquil. 2 peace, which you've got, and 3 pure. So I'm not quite sure why Rebecca's put these extra 2 in the bundle. So that'll be interesting, won't it? But anyway, 63.99. Oh, 63.99 for all of that. Obviously, you need to buy the book. Now, I'm presuming. Oh, it's the same. It's the same for both of them. It's 3, 2. Oh no, the cardigan. You need less. You need 3, 2, and 2 for the cardigan. 3, 2, and 3 for the jumper. So you're going to be making that. Obviously, you need to buy the book separately. It doesn't come in the kit. But it's beautiful. Imagine snuggling up in that. 63.99 for all of that lovely yarn there. 100% wool. Blue-faced Kerry Hill. At 63.99. Is Rebecca Reed watching, do you think? Anyway. Oh, but Mark's watching from Jewelry Maker. Hello, Mark. Right, now, what I need to... For those of you who don't know Adam, because it's your first time on Yarn, I forget.
First time on Yarn Lane.
You've never met Adam before. He's one from the Great British Sewing Bee this year, just gone by. See, what series was it? 8? 7? 7, right. But you knit as well.
Yeah, I do a bit in my spare time.
What spare time?
Exactly.
What spare time? So if you've been watching Sewing Street, he's been on Sewing Street now. He's come on to do this. So now, you've got the green wool. Oh, and you've got the grey wool.
I've got the Soul, yeah, the Battleship Grey.
Oh, okay, then,
said,
perfect.
yeah.
So what are you going to show us to start with out of here?
Well, I'm going to show us, I said mitten, but it's actually a hand warmer.
Oh, a hand warmer.
And these are absolutely lovely. And I think what makes them so lovely is the stitch definition. All of the projects, I think, in this book, John, are knitted with 2 strands of this wonderful wool here.
What? So yeah, instead of having one going through, you've got 2 going through the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So that's why I always roll or spin up my yarn into cake, so it's easier to use, and pull from the centre of the ball as well. But with this, you can see I've got the 2 strands on there. I've knitted.
Okay, hang on a second. I might have to get you to move slightly to your left, but I think your trolley might be in the way.
Let me move the trolley.
Just move across a little bit to your left, because we're just missing you from the shot there.
That's all right. Okie dokie.
That's as far as you can go. There you go. That's fine. That's fine. There you go. Right.
There we are.
Lovely.
Yeah,
right, off you go then.
So, so with it being double strands of yarn throughout this whole project, you just have to be careful that you don't mistake them for stitches, because obviously 2 of them is 1 stitch.
Yeah.
So that would be the first tip. But actually, this project is really lovely if you're a beginner knitter, as you pointed out there, John. Like, it's a simple knit, and you see the results quick because it's quite thick.
What size needles are you knitting on?
So I've got 12 millimetres.
And did you have those in your stash already, or did you have
I had to go out and buy these ones.
I was going to say, because they're not your regular size needle, are they?
No, I mean, they're quite inexpensive, but so the pattern starts on 10 millimetre needles.
Right.
And that's for your ribbing section, and that's just knit 1 purl 1 rib at the beginning there. And then there's a few little setup rows here for then this Faro rib, which is what I'm going to show you today.
Okay, brilliant.
So you do all of that beginning bit on your 10 millimetre needles, and then you switch to your 12 millimetre needles. And to do that, you'd have your 10 millimetre needle there, and then you'd do the next row with your 12 millimetre needle.
I see. So you don't transfer the 10 millimetre ones onto a 12 millimetre. You just knit the next row.
I'd knit them off.
So at that row, you'll have 1 10 millimetre and 1 12 millimetre in your hand.
And then you're ready with your 2 12. So that's how I do it.
Yeah.
The way this mitten is going to shape up is basically you're knitting a rectangle, and then that's going to be folded in half, seamed up, and a little opening left for about 5 centimetres for the thumb to go through.
Okay.
So this Faro rib then, it's just a variation of a rib, really.
Yeah.
So it's knit 2 purl 1. So for anybody, there might be people watching that have never knitted before, and I assume we've got avid knitters as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to have an easy knit as a knitter.
Yes.
So you're knitting 2 and then you're purling 1. Now, as I say, just making sure I knit. It's the English way, really. I know some people knit continental, which can be faster. I was just taught this way by my nan.
I was going to say, how did you get into this? Your nan taught you to knit?
Yeah, and the first thing I ever knitted looked like a pair of pants because it was so many drop stitches.
Oh.
It was a triangle. So yeah, you just knit 2, purl 1.
You might need to drop the side thingy, Cat. Remember, you do have to buy the book, though. At the moment, the main graphic is just for the yarn, remember. For the wool, we call it wool on this case because it is 100% wool.
Yeah.
So you're knitting 2. Did you hang on? Right, knitting 2, purl 1. Did you say?
Yes, that's exactly it. So in a normal rib, you'd knit 1, purl 1, or knit 2, purl 2.
Yeah.
With this, we're going to be offsetting. Oh, let me get some more yarn out there. I've obviously wound it a little bit tighter than I thought. Yeah, so you'd usually do knit 1, purl 1, or it might be knit 2, purl 2 for a 2x2 rib or whatever. What we're going to do in the following row in a moment is change up. We're going to alter that combination to give this Faro row.
Oh, okay.
Faro rib effect.
So you're knitting 2, purling 1 all the way across.
That's it, exactly. So there we go. Knit. That's my second one there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to purl 1. And it's quite, I've been going from like larger needles to like 2.5 mils.
Oh yes, you're going to get to tiny ones in a minute. Yeah, that'd be...
So it's quite different.
Dawn says, welcome to Yarn Lane, Adam. I use 12mm needles. I love the chunky result. My auntie knitted me a jumper with 1 12 and 1 4. It was a holy pattern and I loved it. It'd be very weird. 1 12, 1 4. How would you get the 4 stitches on the 12 needles? Anyway, I know nothing.
There we are. And then the last stitch, so that's my purl 1. So I'm a knit 2, purl 1, and then the last stitch is a knit on this row.
Right.
So there we are.
And that's the end of that row.
And that's the end of that row. Just pulling it tight there.
Okay.
It's a 2-row pattern for this Faro rib, so it's really nice and simple, but with a gorgeous effect. And I think the forward says something about by using 2 strands of yarn, it exaggerates the stitch, which it does do.
Of course.
And it grows quicker. I think that's the thing, as a beginner knitter especially, you might find, it's a bit tedious on 2.5 mils. Well,
you never get anywhere, do you?
No, that's it. So if you're a beginner, this is the perfect book for you, and you're going to have some lovely results from this.
Brilliant.
Okay, so the second one. So the first one we did knit 2, purl 1.
Yeah.
This time we're going to start with a purl stitch, and that's going to offset everything a little bit. And that's what knitting is really. There's 2 stitches, a knit and a purl, and it's how you do those combinations.
The combinations, yeah.
So we're going to purl 1 first. So there we go. And again, just making sure that you're not mistaking. You see there, because it could look like they're separate stitches.
Yes.
You've just got to remember all the way through that is actually one stitch. You've always got
2, yeah.
That's the only thing I would say there. Okay, so you've purled 1 and then you're going to knit 2.
Oh, so it's the same,
but
you've just offset it by doing a purl at the beginning of the row.
That's exactly it. And now I'm going to purl 1 and then knit 2. And you can get some gorgeous effects from this yarn and doing it. It's amazing actually with just 2 stitches really in knitting, how you can create all of these combinations. So we're going to knit the 2 there.
I can imagine this hand warmer comes together incredibly quickly.
Yeah, well, I won't lie to you. I started this one last night, John. And
in your spare time?
In my spare time, yeah. And I think in about 5 minutes, I'd got the rib bit done. That's how quickly it grows.
Brilliant.
Okay.
So the whole of the mitt, really, or the hand warmer, is literally a cuff or like a rib, then all of this Faro, and then another rib at the top, isn't it, really?
Exactly.
And then the scarf, I've just talked very quickly about the scarf. What I'll do is I might show you the scarf in the coloured version we haven't got the multicoloured version here, but if you look, even if you do it in the solid colour, look, you've got different kind of techniques going on. But I imagine they're all quite simple, but they're along the same lines as what you're doing now. It's just the way that you stitch them together, they knit them together. Yeah. So if you don't want the colourway, well, we've only done the solid colour. If you want to go, not only on our show today, we've got different colourways, but if you go into the shop, you do need to buy the retreat wool for this. But if you go into the shop that's on the first page, you'll be able to find other colours as well. So you could create your own version. Andrea says, I love that Adam knits too. Does he crochet?
Do you know what? And I'm ashamed to admit it, I've never crocheted.
Oh, I'm about to say, I'm ashamed to admit it. Yes, I do. No, well, you haven't got time, have you? Everything else. Stuart says, back for knitting. Oh, I'm a big fan of big needles, grow so quickly. I can't tell you, Stuart knits the most incredible. He did that Harry Styles cardigan. He's done all sorts of amazing.
Is that Stuart from Woolpatch?
Stuart from Woolpatch, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Hello, Stuart. Yeah, I've seen his Harry Styles cardigan. Yeah. That was fab.
Follow him on Instagram. He does the most amazing I don't know if they're monthly shows, aren't they? He films them in his potting shed and things like that, and just edits the most incredible. I mean, I do a Facebook Live where it's just me chatting to a screen, where he does dyeing woad in his mum's garden. He does knitting. It's brilliant what he does. Absolutely brilliant. And that's it.
And that's it. So you'd repeat that it's a 2-row sequence, really, just offsetting it each time, I suppose.
Then do you have to go back to your size 10 needles when you do the rib at the top?
Yes, exactly. You've got it. So then you'd change back to your 10mm needles, and then you would you'd make one at this point, because the bit I forgot to mention.
Oh, here we go. It's his first show already. Go on, the bit you forgot to mention.
I've done the smallest size, which is cast on 21 stitches. Once you've done the rib part, then there is a little section in there. I mean, I don't want to give too much of the pattern away, of course.
No, of course.
But there's a part where you decrease a little bit for this Faro rib.
Oh, okay.
And then you knit this Faro rib up, and then when you get back onto your 10mm needles, it's at that point then you're going to make some stitches to end up with what you started off with.
Because when you then fold it over, they've got to match, haven't they?
Exactly, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, that's lovely. I've got a message from Mark, did you say? What does he say? Hi, John. Yarn Lane's really helped my dear mother get through a turbulent year. Thank you, Adam. You're my sewing bee hero. From Mark. I think that's Mark, designer from Jewellery Maker. I think that's Mark from Jewellery Maker. And what a lovely message. Really helped my dear mum get through a turbulent year. I mean, everyone's had a bad year, haven't we? But thank goodness for that. Thank goodness we have knitting and sewing. And thank goodness we have jewellery making. And jewellery making. If it is you, Mark, can you have a word with Wayne? When am I getting another shift? If you could just pop next door and ask. I noticed Vic's got one yesterday. Anyway, because we all work in jewellery makers, actually we're all sister channels and everything. Right, now we're moving on from that one.
Wonderful.
Put that one to one side, and I'm now going to introduce you to the Xander Rhodes book. Now, Xander Rhodes and I have been friends for years and years and years. We are both patrons of the Rainbow Trust Children's Charity, and we're very proud of that, and we are two of the faces of for them. This is West Yorkshire spinner Xander Rhodes' Make a Statement, and boy, oh boy, does she make a statement. Oh, have you? Cat's seen her in IKEA, apparently. Other shops are available. She's just incredible, isn't she? Her museum in London is just amazing. So this book here is done with Colour Lab, with Xander Rhodes and all the different yarns that we're using here. These are all the different fabrics you can get, the different yarns you can get in Colour. Start that again. Colour Lab solids, yarns there, wools there, bold and beautiful. These are the patterns in the book. So you do need to buy the book if you're going to make anything. We're doing socks today, but there's a Layla, a Janet, a Bridie, a Kitty. What day did we launch this? Because they did a few of these jumpers, didn't they? A Beverly, a Harriet, a Sandra. 1st of October, you can see a whole Yarn Lane show dedicated to this. Hillary. Then look how much you get in this book for $16.95. Look how many patterns you get in here. The Hayley, the Susanna, the Cloud. It's lovely, that, isn't it? The Annabelle. I will get to what we're doing today. Oh, hang on. Here you go. The Lottie, the Kelly, and the... Oh, now I don't know how to say that. No, it's to you. With umlauts over it. Chia. So I'm going to say it. Chia. So all the patterns are in this book, look, with the wools that they've used. And again, I'm surprised Stuart hasn't made some of these, I have to admit. $16.95. How many patterns are you getting in there for your $16.95? What brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. That's a brilliant value for money. I think they made that one because I remember them seeing some yarn, some bright green yarn on the day after. They'd left it behind. Oh, maybe it was that one. Maybe it was the Beverley they made. But look, all of these patterns in the book. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Oh, look, they actually, can you see that close too? There's that the sleeve part of that poncho is actually beaded on, look. Oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah, there you can see it there. You can see it there. That's gorgeous. I'd wear a poncho quite happily. Oh, another message from Mark. Here you go. Hang on. What's it saying? Hi, John. It certainly is Jewelry Maker Mark. Hope you and I get to do a show together. We're blessed. Mark, you have a word with Wayne. Wayne and Chloe, get them. He likes a bit of a slap. Give Wayne a slap and he'll... Yeah, there we go. Oh, I tell you what, Wayne and I danced at, was it Cherry's wedding or Vic's wedding? No, it's Vixie's wedding. Oh, there's pictures of me and Wayne on that dance floor. Moves people haven't seen before. Anyway, yes, Mark, it's about time we had a show together. I haven't worked with you yet. Anyway, look. So we carry on. Hayley hat. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, I love that one. Is that the same hat or we moved on? No, that must be the Hayley, look. Then we've got, these are all different versions of, oh, look, Hayley with flowers. They're all slightly different, aren't they? Oh, beautiful. Right, let's get on to what we're doing. Susanna. There's so much in this book, I can't tell you. How you can have this many patterns for $16.95 is beyond me. That's gorgeous, isn't it? That's so lovely. Yeah, the thing is, you don't have to... Xander Rhodes has designed these with the Colour Lab bright colours, but you could do more subtle tones if you wanted to. But why would you? Why would you do a Xander Rhodes design and not do it brightly coloured? That's all. Right, so we're doing... What are we doing today, Adam?
Yes,
those. We're
Lottie.
doing Lottie. We're going to be doing Lottie in a second. So if you want to make Lottie, you need to buy the book, and then you need to buy these 2 balls of yarn. Right. So... This has been so popular, this one. There's only 5 of these left. $14.99. So you get this one, which is called Xandra's Rainbow. And that one's called Cayenne Pepper. That one's available on its own if you just want to buy that on its own. But both of those, $14.99. Now, but I checked this morning. When you're making socks, please make sure you got some nylon mixed in with your wool. 75%, 25% on those. It's very, very important to have nylon mix when you're doing socks. So that bundle there will make you a pair of Lotties, right? But I've also got another bundle here to make Kelly long socks. Now, actually, oh yeah, because you're using the orange for the heel, aren't you, on that one? So this one here, this one's called Forest Stripes, right? And this 2 balls will make the longer sock there. Isn't that lovely? So obviously you have to buy the book. The book doesn't come in the kit. So for the yarn, $14.99. Is there no end to Adam's talent, says Julie. Yeah, but he can't cook.
I can't crochet either.
And he can't crochet either. Message from Barbara. Excellent idea. You and Mark together would be great fun. That's for Jewelry Maker. Why don't you message Jewelry Maker? Who's that, Barbara? Message Jewelry Maker and say, where's John? Why hasn't John been on? We want John. Right, okay, so they're the two bundles we've got to go with this book. We haven't got any of the other kits in there, but a lot of the yarns are available. So if you buy the book, you can then buy the yarns from us at a later stage. So what are you going to show on this one? Right, so
I'm going to show the start of the heel section, which is where we change colour from this lovely rainbow yarn and to, I can't remember actually the name of this, cayenne pepper.
Yes.
So we're going to add a bit of pepper to the mix.
You won't know about that because you don't do cooking.
Yeah, that's
also,
it.
cayenne pepper is very good to put in your bins to stop the cats going in your bins. And
is
if you
it?
get cats going on your garden or in your bins rummaging, put some cayenne pepper in. They don't like that getting on their nose or anything.
Oh, there you go. Something
It's like
you didn't
mice,
know.
right? If you get mice in your house, just drop some citrus essential oils, because I can't bear the thought of putting a mouse trap or anything like that down.
No.
If you put citrus aromatherapy oils down where you can see them coming in. Mice don't like the citrus and they'll go away. They won't come back in again. Anyway, do some
We
knitting.
could have a rent-a-kill wool range, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Cayenne pepper, citrus.
Other killing things are available. Anyway, right, go on then. So what have you done so far?
So we've done the rib. So beforehand on the previous project, we've done a 1x1 rib.
Yeah.
The socks here at the beginning is a 2x2 rib. So
Right.
that's knit 2, purl 2. We are knitting in the round for this. However,
are we?
We are knitting in the round, John, on DPNs no less, double-pointed needles.
Oh, okay. Oh, listen to him, DPMs. Yeah, go on then.
So there are options whether to use a small circular needle as well. I personally, when knitting socks, prefer using double-pointed needles. You can use a circular needle and use the magic loop method.
Yeah, that's what Stuart would use because he always uses a circular needle.
Yes. So what you would do is you cast on with 3mm needles and then you change to 2.5mm. Now, just as a little note to start off with,
Yeah, I'm listening.
it knits up flat to begin with. I believe this is so it makes it easier to join in the round a little bit.
Right.
And it does, and I've done that. And what you end up with is a little bit at the top that you'll seam up with your tail end at the very end once you're finishing off the sock. You can choose to join it in the round straight away, and there's various techniques to do that. I personally, when joining in the round, like to add an extra stitch.
Oh.
I know, it's very risky.
To go off-piste a bit there then.
Well, this is a well-known technique actually, John, in terms of you add an extra stitch and then you do a bit of transferring and then you lose that stitch. But what happens is you join it in the round more neatly.
Right.
What we're going to be doing now is basically, talking about my first piece of knitting and knitting
your pair of
triangles.
pants. Yeah.
Well, we're not going to be dropping stitches, hopefully, but we are going to be knitting a triangle because effectively that's what's going to form this first part of the heel. So what we're going to do is knit across 36 stitches. I've done this in the largest size with an intention of finishing them and perhaps wearing them at some point.
At Christmas next year.
Yeah. So it says to knit over 36 stitches and knit 1 row. So that's effectively 2 needles because I've got my stitches spread out and there's 18 stitches on each needle.
Right.
So we're going to be knitting across 36, so that's these 2 needles here. All right, so it says very specifically in the pattern not to break the main yarn, the main colour yarn. So I'm going to keep that on because we're going to join that back up once we've knitted this heel section. But what we are going to do is introduce some cayenne pepper, John.
Right, okay.
All right, so we're going to knit straight across this row quite simply and just add this extra colour in. Now, what I prefer to do, a little technique.
Could you put your arms just a little bit forward? That's it.
Are we there?
Yeah, that's perfect. It's just
That's
so Elliot can get it all in
is
the picture.
when I'm knitting in the round, people can often get ladders and things like that. The way to avoid that, I find, is to knit behind the previous needle here. And to keep your first stitch relatively tight with intention, but to tighten the second stitch. By tightening the second stitch, you're eliminating the possibility of a ladder or a looser stitch previously, and it will just help grip on.
Brilliant.
However, we're introducing a different colour here, so at the moment. Right, so we're going to pop cayenne pepper around there. I love that it's called cayenne pepper. All right, and we're going to just knit that one off there, okay? Yeah. And now I've got all of those there. I've got this now becomes my working yarn.
Yeah.
All right. And
so you haven't cut your rainbow off?
I haven't cut my rainbow.
No.
My rainbow's still there, but I am just going to be aware of my tension here because obviously of that first stitch there. So I'll just give that a nice, you don't want to pull things too tight, but you just want everything to be sitting nicely. All right, and what you're going to do now we're introducing this second colour, is knit across. Now what I should have said as well is that you can make the sock as long as you like, but within the pattern I think it says up to 15 centimetres.
Right.
There's something like 14 or 16 rows of rib and then 15 centimetres after that. And I think what I've worked out as well is each stripe, because it's self-striping yarn, is actually a centimetre. Once you've knitted that colour bit, so it's actually a centimetre, I think. Right. I was counting on the patterns, you see, to see how many stripes they'd got.
Oh, okay. I just think it's always amazing that they've done a yarn that does just you know, does your stripes like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You think because it's a variegated, you know, we're so used to sewing with variegated cotton that just goes all over the place colour-wise. Whereas when you knit with variegated wools, they've actually, somebody has worked out that you're going to get a centimetre stripe with the amount of wool in that colour sort of thing. I think
there's some maths been done, definitely.
Yes, yeah.
And with it being the composition, as you were saying, 25% into nylon.
Yeah, 25.
This is specifically, you know, designed to be sock yarn, 100%. So yeah, there we go. And what I was talking about in the round, so I've got that first stitch on, I'm going to have, I'm tight enough. You don't want everything too tight, but it's this second stitch now. If you just make sure that that's pulled, everything will grip and you'll avoid the chance of a big gaping ladder.
Yeah.
So you're just, again, going to knit across this row, and in a minute is where it's going to get really interesting.
Oh, yes. Even more interesting, you mean.
Even more interesting.
Andrea says, if you use peppermint oil for spiders, they don't like peppermint oil, apparently. Oh.
There's another colour for our renticle
Oh,
range.
that's why Elliot's house smells of peppermint oil, apparently. Not because Amy's drinking peppermint tea all day long.
I never knew these things. It's amazing what you find out coming here.
Well, no, you see, it's like a knitting circle. It's knit and natter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that what they call it, knit and nat? No, knit and natter.
I've heard of other ones as well, but I won't possibly able to say them on here.
Oh, okay then. Move your hands forward then if you're not going to tell us. That's it.
So I've knitted across those 2 needles now, okay,
Right.
and we've introduced that colour there. Now, when you're knitting in the round, you keep going round and round and round, and if you knit in the round that way, you actually create stocking stitch.
Right.
Because you're not turning forwards and backwards. However, at this stage now, we are going to be turning the work.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's once you get it in your head, it's quite
easy,
it's easy. It makes sense. We're just focusing on knitting these 2 needles because we want to create this triangle heel shape. So the other ones at the moment, the stitches are just going to rest.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to use a stitch holder to put them on at the moment, you could transfer those onto a stitch holder.
So that they're just safe and out the way.
So you know they're secure. For today, I'm just going to leave them on the needles there. Because you don't really want to watch me transferring stitches. All right, so what we've done there, as we know, is we've knitted across that row, and that is your setup row.
Right.
All right, now what we're going to do is turn the work. So I'm now on the purl side of the fabric.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on the purl side of the fabric, and I'm going to be slipping a stitch. All right, and we're going to do this in sequence. So I'm going to slip it purlwise, and you're always going to slip these stitches purlwise, and that means, for anybody that hasn't done this before, is to go in as if you're knitting a purl stitch, and that is purlwise. So that's slipped over there, which is what we want. Now what we're going to do is we're going to purl to the first stitch before the end, okay? So like we did on the last one where we knitted, we're on the purl side of the fabric now, so we're going to purl. I've slipped that first stitch, and then you're going to...
You're going to purl all of them?
Purl all of these, except the last stitch.
Yeah. Don't they look tight after you've gone from those 12s or 14s and then gone to these tiny little stitches now, needles now?
It takes some getting used to, I have to say, going from what
and we're making you do it live on telly, go from a fat one to a skinny one.
But yeah, exactly. But you get used to it. But this is why it's important, I would say, to do a test swatch or a gauge. Because it gives you the tension at the beginning of the pattern. I think this is something like 30 stitches, is it, to the 4-inch?
Yeah.
30 stitches and 42 rows to 10 centimetres, not 10 metres.
That'd be a long sock, wouldn't it?
It would be a long sock. So yeah.
Oh, hang on. Oh no, Jan says, I guess yours starts with stitch and ends with itch, Adam.
I couldn't possibly comment.
That's Jan. That's our Jan, that is.
So yeah, and it's quite nice using a different colour here, John, because it's quite easy to distinguish which stitches and needles you're on.
Yes.
And that you're working. So I've purled this needle here. And then once you get to the end of that, you've got a needle free.
Uh-huh.
So then we're going to go on to the other side now. Knitting socks, I'd say if you're a new knitter, it would be quite advantageous to go straight onto socks because.
Oh really? I always thought they should be what you'd work your way to socks, not doing it straight away.
No, well that's what I mean. It'd be too advantageous to go straight into doing socks.
Yeah.
I think. I didn't knit socks for a long time. You know, I started just knitting garter stitch really.
Yeah.
And then learnt to purl, and trying to do that was like, oh my goodness, everything's backwards to what I'd learned. And then you know those 2 stitches, and then you challenge yourself to do something. But I love knitting it, particularly for my nephew when he was born.
Yes.
Knitting for little ones. And I quite like using thicker yarns as well.
You need to get the family to start getting more babies so you can start more baby knitting.
Well,
then.
my sister's talking about it. She got engaged.
Oh, did
my
she?
My sister did, yeah, the other week. They've been together for 8 years. And he proposed to her on the London Eye.
Oh.
So that was very nice. So I'm sure we'll be having some celebratory drinks soon.
Yeah, any excuse.
Any excuse. I'm on a hen do this weekend.
Oh, are you? What, teaching or drinking?
Teaching them how to drink.
Fine. Whereabouts are you doing that? You have to tell us the venue. What town is that in?
I'm up in Lancaster tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Be careful, Lancaster.
So there we are. I've purled all the way to the end. I've got 2 stitches left on this needle now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to purl the penultimate one, and then I'm going to leave that first one on there, like so.
Yeah.
And then what we're going to do is turn the work. And
you don't do anything with that one?
No,
then?
that's going to stay. That's almost like a slip stitch
right,
now.
Okay.
Because I've not knitted it, I've not purled it, I've not done anything with it.
Yeah. Hang on, you just need to your left. Sorry, Adam.
Sorry, yeah. Okay. So, I'll just get my needles right. It's just a little bit of manipulation when you're and doing it live, as you say, isn't it? There we go. Just take some time just to get your needles where they need to be. Right, so you've got that one slipped off already. Now we're going to purl all the way back. And what will happen is that this... sorry, not purl. What am I talking about?
No, not purl, Adam.
Not purl. We're going to knit, because we're on the knit side of the fabric now. So again, knitting across. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the penultimate one.
Yeah.
In fact, no, I should have slipped one there, actually. You should have slipped another stitch there, so you'd have had 2 slip stitches.
Right.
I'm going to carry on.
Yeah, carry on. We're going to have to move on to the next one in a minute. Anyway,
That's all right. And then when you get to the penultimate, and what you'll see is these like bigger gaps between the stitches as you continue to do this. So you'd have 2 that were slipped, then you'd have 3, then you'd have 4,
right.
And you continue in that fashion.
To make that makes a triangle.
Yes, exactly. And then what you will do, coming back round to do the heel turn, is that you will knit off those stitches, but you'll also pick up some stitches in between, so as you've not got any holes.
Yes, of course.
And I think that's the biggest thing that when knitting socks, people always kind of wonder. And there's lots of different techniques. And actually, I love Winnick Mum, who comes on here.
Oh,
now.
yeah, she's adorable.
Well,
isn't she?
for socks, she is the sock goddess, I think. So I often watch many of her videos.
Yeah.
And she's got some great tips and techniques in terms of how to avoid those kind of situations, holes, etc.
Right.
So yeah, I'll just get that behind there. That's it. So yeah, you'd carry on, you knit.
Yeah.
I should have just done a little sample, really, just
really.
to show you.
You'll know next time.
I'll know next time, won't I?
You'll be doing crochet. On December the whatever, you'll be doing crochet.
You dare. I've never picked up a crochet hook. I've always knitted from being very, very young. So yes, you get to the end of this knit row here, and then you would leave that one.
Yeah.
And then you'd turn the work again.
So you just literally carry on till you've done your triangle.
Yes.
Then you pick up the stitches that you've then...
That's it.
Got on your other holder, your stitch holder.
That's it, exactly.
Perfect.
So there we go. And then we turn the work and we continue. And the pattern's really clear. It shows and demonstrates that's lovely. And then it gives you the amount of stitches that you should have at the end of that before you move on to the next stage, which is the heel turn.
Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to move on to fleece. Right, family collection. These are beautiful. I launched this book. I love this book. It's so gorgeous, like traditional Fair Island, sort of Scandi. The book, again, you have to buy the book if you want to make any of these. They're not in any of the bundles. All these books are so popular anyway. So this one is $14.95. Again, how many patterns? So it's got all the different wools in here. The lovely sheep. And then look at all these projects here. So you've got Ellebeck, you've got Galfay, you've got New Home, you've got Hazelwood, you've got Ingleton, all ladies. Then you turn over and you've got Oakwood, Denton, men's patterns in here. You've got Malham, Hetton. Then we go to Kiddies, girl cable jumper, children's Fair Isle hat, boys Gansey jumper, children's hooded jacket. And then you start with all the patterns here. Now, obviously, as you can see, we've jumped from 1 dot now to 4 dots. So we're going, this is not for a beginner. These are not for beginner knitters, these. But again, I mean, look how beautiful they are. If you, I just love anything like this. I wish they did, I wonder if they do one like that in boys. Hang on. Oh, that's the nearest. You see, I like that pattern. But that's the nearest boys one like that. Anyway, so you got all of them in here. So you need to buy the book for the patterns, but all those patterns, look, with all the instructions, all lovely pictures. Beautiful. Oh, there's that one. There's that pattern there. Oh, Elliot's in love with that beard. He appreciates a good beard, he says. Anyway, I could make a really sarky comment there, but I won't. No, it's fine. Now, at $14.95 is the book. Right, now I've got 4 bundles here. So, is this bundle first here? Yeah? So, I'm presuming this is for Elleray, is it? Was it called Elleray? Ellebeck, right? So, now you do need to buy the book for the pattern, but look at this. These are beautiful. So, now these are 100% British wool Jacob. I'm presuming that's the name of the sheep. The type of sheep, not his name, the type of sheep. So how many did you get here? 1, that one's come open. I didn't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brown and 1 cream, right? I don't suppose I've got none. Oh, that's just called black brown. And that one's called ecru. So you get all of that, $34.99. You do have to buy the book, though, for the pattern. 100% British wool, Jacob. Beautiful, isn't it? This is it's not rough, but it's more of a natural feel to it. I'm not sure I'd want to have that next to my naked flesh. Do you know what I mean? But there again, you might want it next to your naked flesh. $34.99 for that one. That's the Ellebeck. Now, what were the other ones there? What am I doing here? So which ones are they? What are they called? Right, hang on a sec then. Is that in this book? There, no, that one there, the Oakwood ladies cabled accessory set. So this is a hat and a cowl. That's obviously, so this will be, is it 3 balls or is that 2 balls? With your moment, caller. 2 balls, that's this bundle here. They're both called the ecru. So to make, you need to buy the book, obviously, but to make that hat and that cowl, that's your yarn there. Then I've got a 3-ball cream, which must be, hang on. Hetton here, that's this scarf and this hat. You need 3 hanks of that one. 3 hanks of the ecru on that one. His is obviously a more of a natural tone. But look how the pattern, can you see the pattern on there? It's got like kind of different ribbing in it and everything. I've got bigger pictures. Yeah, I've got a bigger picture. Oh, I don't know where it is in the book. There we go. It come after that one. Yeah, it should come after that one. There we go. There it is. So you can make the hat and the scarf with that one. He's not got any gloves. Ecru, or you can have it in, this is a lovely colour, this one. This one's called brown. I love that some of them do really, really beautiful net brown. This one's in brown. $22.99. Obviously, you have to buy the book separately. So those three together are $22.99. Plus, you have to buy the book for the pattern. So what you're going to show, we've got to be quick now because we've only got a few minutes left. What are you going to show us on this one?
I'll quickly show us the hat and the cable pattern here. This is lovely, and I've got it on circular needles.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have done everything today, haven't you?
I know. Well, I thought we've had a mitten, we've had a sock. Let's have a hat, and then I've got a bit of a
whole
towel
set
if we
for
time.
Christmas, exactly.
So what we're going to do is we're going to purl 2 stitches here, okay? You'd have a stitch marker if you wanted to.
Available on the website.
Oh, there you go. So you purl your first 2, and then the pattern's telling us to do this lovely intricate cable now. It looks beautiful. It's like a cabled rib.
Yeah.
And I found it really interesting. So I thought, well, let's go ahead and knit it. So, so you've got cable 2 to the back now at this point. So to do that, you're going to just slip a stitch purlwise, and you're going to keep it at the back. Okay, and then I'm going to knit the next stitch on your main needle. There, if I can get some yarn. There we go. And then that stitch that I've put to the back on the cable needle, I'm now going to knit that one off. Okay, so we've cable 2 to the back. So that's purl 2, cable 2 to the back, and then we're going to cable 2 to the front. So I'm going to, again, just slip one off purlwise like that. I'm going to keep that stitch at the front now.
Yeah.
So this is...
Oh, yeah, I understand cable. It's one of the few things I do understand,
and then you're going to knit the next stitch, and then you've got that stitch on your cable needle there, and that's the one that you're going to knit off. You're basically twisting the stitches or changing the order in which you knit them to create a cable. And you can do it, 2, you can do it 4, you can do lots of patterns called for different things. And then you just repeat that all the way around. So just once more, so you purl 2, and then you've got 1 to the back. So I'm just going to take that off there. And again, can be a little bit fiddly, and there's different kind of needles you can get, cable needles. I've just got a straight one here, but you can get one that make it
with a kink in the middle.
With a kink in the middle, and that can just make it easier if you knitting cable maybe for the first time. So that was to the back, and then we've got this one to the front, and then we're going to knit the next one off your main needle there and knit this one here, and that is going to form this lovely cabled rib. You'll be able to see all the way around it.
It always amazes me that, like you say, it's just 2 stitches, isn't it? That you're just doing a different order. Who had it on their needle and went, do you think they're all these different designs are created through mistakes? People have gone, oh, I've dropped it, I'll take it around the back, I'll take it around the front. Oh, I've made a cable. Do you know what I mean? It's just like incredible that somebody has sat with a knit or a purl and been able to create cables and all these amazing stitches. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Oh,
that looks gorgeous.
It will look absolutely fab. The rest of it is stocking stitch, and there's options. This is why, again, I love this. There's options to knit it in the round or work it flat.
Right.
So if you prefer working on just 2 normal straight needles or whatever you want to call them, then you can work it flat. If you want to go in the round, then you can do it on your DPNs like we've done on the sock, or you could do it with a circular needle like I'm doing there.
Have you got a cake winder thing?
Yeah.
Because these are obviously hank. I never know the word. Is it hank?
It is a hank.
Hank, yeah. But you've obviously got it in a ball there, so you've obviously got a winder.
I've got a wall winder at home.
We had them on the show the other day. Right, very quickly, because we've only got a few minutes left. Moving on to the last book now that we're showing to you today. There are others on the website that we've not got through. This is Fleece from the Blue-Faced Leicester Riverside collection. Beautiful book, again from West Yorkshire Spinners, £12.95. Now, let's have a look what's in here then. Look, these are lovely, aren't they? So we've got Braidley, Follyfoot. Oh, do you remember Follyfoot on the telly? You won't, you're too young. Follyfoot, Lothersdale, Ilkley, Rainton. Now, you remember that, Elliot. Harlington, Redmire, Levisham. Oh, so which one are we doing? Ilkley, with these here. Right, so I've got, right, okay. So that's this one here. Now, that's the most beautiful colour. Brook, that's called. Brook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hanks to make that. Obviously, that's £64.99. You do have to buy the book separately for the pattern. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. This blue-faced Leicester sheep, double knit, 100% British wool. The colour's beautiful. Look at that. I'll just put that in there because that's what you're buying. You're buying the yarn, the wool. But you do need to buy the book for the pattern. I love it. I love it. Right, so that's that one. Now I've got one ball on its own here, one hank on its own. What's that for? Hang on a sec. What are you doing from this? Oh, here, Red Maya. Are you doing the lace hat and scarf or are you doing the Harlington?
The Harlington.
Harlington, right? So you just need one hank for that, the Harlington. And that's this, what we've done this. Obviously, there are other colours. This is forest. But you can, oh, hang on, so I'll put that in because that's what you're buying now. Forest, yeah. £9.50. That's £9.50. You obviously need to buy the book to go with. Brilliant. Right, so what you're going to show us very quickly is we've literally got about 4 minutes left, Adam.
That's it, perfect. Okay, so this is lovely again and not too complex. The pattern initially looks like it's complex,
right.
But it's not. It's again, a variation on a rib, I suppose, because you've got knits and pearls, but on the reverse of this fabric, you get this gorgeous diagonal texture.
I've just found the big pictures of it.
Yeah,
it's lovely,
it's beautiful.
isn't it?
Again, I'm on circular needles. The basic principle for this pattern is knit 4, purl 2.
Knit 4, purl 2, right.
But
okay.
it's the order in which you do that. So the first and second round is exactly that. You see, I've got my stitch marker.
I was going to say, because how do you know you got to the end of a round if you just keep going and going and going?
That's it, yeah. I've got my stitch marker in there.
Yeah.
So the first 2 rounds are knit 4. So 1, 2, 3, and then your fourth one. And then just move your yarn to the front there. And then you purl 2. And you continue in that fashion all the way around. Then when you get to the third row, what you'll be doing is purling 1, knitting 4, and purling 1. And you'll continue like that.
Right.
However, because you've got a purl 1 at the beginning and a purl 1 at the end of that little sequence, those pearls will come together. So effectively it's knit 4, purl 2.
Oh,
do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, of
but
course.
It's because we're doing purl 1, knit 4, purl 1.
Do you have to
alternates.
do these on round needles or can you do these on straight needles?
I think with this one, I mean, I suppose you could knit it on straight needles. I can't remember. I've not got the book. I've only got...
Oh, we only sent you a photocopy of the thing. Yeah, sorry.
So I can't see whether it is because... obviously, I think there is a version to knit it on straight.
Oh, here you go, for version in the round.
Yeah.
Right, so there must be, for version worked on the flat, for version worked in the round.
Now, make sure you get the right one. I'm remembering now because the pattern sequence is slightly different between the two to get the same effect.
Yes, so you still only need the same amount of yarn. You still need the same water wool, so don't worry about that. But there is a version for working on the flat and there's a version for working in the round. There's also a short version and a long version as well. But they all only need 1 hank of the wool.
That's exactly it. And I'm knitting that shorter version so you can get an idea.
Is it shorter because you put less stitches on the...
Yeah, so it's not going to be as long when you wear it around. You know,
Right.
as you can see, that's...
Oh,
so this is
for a longer version, you'd put more stitches on to make it bigger that way.
Exactly.
So
So
it's
there'll
not
be more
stitching
stitches.
more going down that way. It's stitching more going round, so that
That's
it's
it.
wider, so it hangs like a cow around your neck.
And this feels absolutely beautiful
Isn't
as
it?
well.
It's gorgeous.
And the bit that's shown on the picture is what you consider as the reverse side of the fabric. The bit that's photographed, it's quite different.
Well, she's
on
gone on
one
back to
side
front
than
in
other.
the photo.
Well,
though.
no, I think that the designer is intended
Yeah.
that because it's more pronounced on the reverse side. And I think it's just an absolute beautifully intricate design. But I say intricate, it's really achievable.
Yes,
As I say, it's
no,
knit
but
for
it looks
purl too.
no, but it looks like you've really, really, really had to work hard on
Yeah.
that. But actually, it's quite simple.
Yeah, and just make a mark of like which round you're on, however you do it. I tally it a lot of the time, so I just put a little mark once I've knit that row.
You amaze me. I don't, because Dawn said to me, I know you're busy, John, but you ever thought of taking up knitting? I can't even run my life as it is, let alone sit down with some needles or anything. Adam, that was brilliant. You've done
Fantastic. Thank you so
really,
much.
really well today on Sewing Story. That sounds patronising. I don't mean it sounds patronising at all.
No, I know.
You've done incredibly, incredibly well today. So thank you
So
for that.
have you.
It's my job. Right, you certainly brought us a lovely range of colours today from Teddy in Wimbledon. Oh, thank you, Teddy. Right, I'm gonna round up now. Everything that we played will now be on show deals. Anything we haven't played that is in the pre-order, Kat is now going to put in show deals when we go for our boiled egg. Right, make sure you check out on your books, because any of those bundles, you do need to buy the book, right? But the books have been incredibly, incredibly popular, more so than the bundles. But I think what you're doing is you're going to get the book, you're going to look through it and then decide which project you want to do. And then you can always come back and get the yarn afterwards, can't you? Yarn Lane is back tomorrow. Vanessa Winwood is in tomorrow. Crocheting, Stylecraft. I think she's doing blankets, isn't she? Crocheting blankets. She lives in my village. She literally lives. You come out my house, turn right, top of the road. She's there on the junction. I know, that close. Anyway, I'm going now. I've had enough today. I'm exhausted. And I've just seen a ball of wool on the floor and I don't know which bundle it came from. I'll see you tomorrow morning on Sewing Street at 8 o'clock. You'll see Adam again on December the 22nd. And I'll see you at 8 o'clock in the morning. Do not be late.